I don't know. Our question of the week goes to my guy Chano. Will Ospreay had his very first pay-per-view match in the States for AEW. Your thoughts?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Will Ospreay is top two wrestler in the world, and he's not number two. That man is Will is that good, man. I'm not gonna lie. So it's incredible to see him on weekly television from here on out. Because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of us were starving. There wasn't a lot of great wrestlers. Like maybe 5 years ago, we kind of got used to what WWE gave us. So to see this new generation, this new era of Will Ospreay, Marcus, I don't know if you remember, but a couple of episodes ago, I was talking about John Morrison and about how John
Mm-hmm.
Morrison was too early for his time. I feel
Yeah,
like Will Ospreay is John Morrison perfected in a sense, if that makes sense.
I can see where you're going with that.
Just super athletic, like super smooth. I mean, Johnny TV, he's not smooth no more. I don't want to watch him at all. But
I
that's
don't know,
just because
man.
he old.
My man just took the boys away from my guy Don Castle, but that's for another conversation.
That was hilarious, by the way. He was so sad.
Okay. Well, it sounds like I guess as a fan, you're kind of excited to see what Will Ospreay is going to do in the States for AEW with this tour that I guess he's got going on. Who knows how long he's signed? I wonder if they're going to release that, or maybe it might come out.
It really doesn't come out like that. I know Okada's contract just released because Tokyo announced it for
Yeah,
like 3 years, 13 mil. Listen, TK, I want to see your budget, bro. I don't even want to judge. I just want to see what you be working with to pay all these guys.
I hear that. All right, well, let's do a little small recap on Revolution. Brandy and Zombie King are not with us. It's just you and I. So actually, kind of excited to talk Revolution with you because you're not much of an AEW guy. So let's just go ahead and get
I,
into it and start our show.
I like it, man, but you know,
What is going on, Ringsiders? Your favorite faction is back. I guess we're a tag team right now.
yeah,
But your boy,
duos
Marcus
today.
Hernandez. I'm with Chano Rhodes. Just
Yeah,
us. The Zombie King, we don't know where he's at. Brady Savage, we don't know where he's at. We tried
now we know where
texting, we
Brand.
tried calling.
Now we know where Brandy is. Brandy's playing WWE 2K24 and left his phone on silent. That's exactly what happened.
He's in the My faction. Oh man. Hey, Chano, dude. Let's talk Revolution, AEW. I know you're not I'm not gonna say you're not a fan because you do watch. I know you do
I do
watch.
watch.
Yeah, you do watch. You've become more of a fan of AEW now from than when we started the pod. So
A
that's
thousand,
actually
but a
that's actually
thousand,
pretty
a 1,000%. It's almost a year that I started watching AEW. I think the
true.
first AEW show I watched was Double or Nothing. I think that's like what 2 months away.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
we're
I'm
getting
coming
there.
in that year mark in AEW, and honestly, there's a lot of things I like and a lot of things I don't like. Like one thing I dislike is TK's overuse of the draw. I think that's just crazy. I
I
feel
could
like
agree.
the Brian Danielson and Will Ospreay's gonna be a draw. I just feel it coming. But other than that, I think AEW has way better character work than WWE. In a sense where like there's so much more characters that I genuinely enjoy. I enjoy Swerve, Juice Robinson, that's my guy. Jay White is a bona fide superstar. The guns are great.
Hmm.
You know, Samoa Joe, he's been a beast since way way back. But there's so many more enjoyable characters in AEW than there is in the E, for me at least. And that's 75% of the battle for me. You can
Yeah,
have a great character or it can be a shitty wrestler, and I like you already. But the fact that they have great character work and they're amazing wrestlers just makes it so much easier for me to root for them and watch them on a weekly basis.
true, true. Okay, well, hey, honestly, I respect your answer, and I'm excited because you and Brittany both became fans, not knowing or not even thinking you were going to become fans, but it just happened and it happened naturally. Do you maybe because we do the work of being an analyst for wrestling, or just
That
because you
helps.
actually enjoy what you're watching?
I mean, at first it was generally because of, like, you know what I mean? If you listen to those first two episodes, Marcus was struggling with them AEW recaps. It was just it was just him. So I was like, you know what,
Crickets.
let me throw my guy a life jacket right now. Let me watch the show with him. And it's listen, man, it's really enjoyable. OC drew me in. Actually, what had me interested in AEW was the MJF pipe bomb that he threw at TK, and TK
Hmm.
cut his mic off. That was insane. So that was the peaks of interest was there, but it definitely helps that we have a wrestling podcast. So it helps to keep up to date on everything that's going on.
That's facts. That's facts. Well, let's talk Revolution, man. Your initial thoughts on Revolution before we get into some of these matches.
I see a lot of people saying this is the greatest pay per view of all time. Me personally, I don't see it. I think it was a really great card. I think AEW does a great job at their pay per views because I feel like
Yeah.
every single one of those guys deliver. To me, something was missing for me. I don't know what it was in each match. Excuse me. Like for example, Eddie Kingston versus the American Dragon. That's not Jake Long. I felt like if you see one Eddie Danielson match, you've seen them all. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like that, it was a great match. It was a really good match. But for me, it peaked when they were fighting at the Continental Classic that second time, and Eddie took the
Hmm.
dub. That was the peak for me. That was an amazing match. It was an emotion-filled match. Because I'm not gonna lie, this is a little bit of my hot take. I don't really like the way Eddie Kingston wrestles, but his
Okay.
character work is so phenomenal, and it helps that his gimmick is being a real New York. You know, man, he's a real New Yorker. Like that's his gimmick. Like we've always said, like we know a couple guys on the block that are Eddie Kingston. We know a couple Eddie Kingstons in real life. So that's why I like watching Eddie Kingston. Like he's believable. Like his experiences, you be like, I feel that. Like I know exactly what he's talking about. That's why I like Eddie. But I'm not really like him wrestling wise, man.
Well, let's talk about that match. I believe that was the second match on the card or the third match on the card.
Second or third.
Second match on the card. Personally, I enjoyed this match. This was my favorite match of the night. Dude, I like the way Eddie Kingston was working. You know, I feel like AEW can't win because some people say, and we'll talk about it. Oh, you know, these guys don't sell, they don't sell, they don't sell. And then you got guys that are like Eddie, and they're just like, oh, he's too lazy. Like, why is he wrestling like that? He doesn't move the way he should. I mean, he sold a broken wrist, you know what I mean, and fought with one arm to retain his titles. I just thought it was a great match. Bryan Danielson, watching him live, man, probably. I mean, he is probably the best in ring. Like, there's nobody can touch him. He's that good when it comes to technical wrestling. So I don't know. I thought this match was really good.
It was an enjoyable match, but to me, two things gave it away. One, Danielson, he choked Eddie out in the middle of the ring that previous Dynamite. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was like, yo, this. I was like, there's no way TK lets this happen. Back to back matches between them. This would be wild. But at the same time, it's like I do see what they mean when they say Eddie be moving around a little lazy. It's like his little turbo chops that he does.
Hmm.
Like if you really look at it, like he's really just like really tapping him on the chest like real lightly, like sensually. You know what I mean? Like he's just taking care of them, which is cool, which is fine. You know what I mean? That's just his moveset. But sometimes you're like, damn, it leaves a little bit. Eddie leaves a little bit to be desired for me. Like if Eddie decided to be a powerhouse and just be that guy, I would be so much on board because you could tell who his influences are as a wrestler. You know what I mean? You could tell he's very
Right.
into that New Japan style of wrestling, but he's not really a strong style wrestler, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Because you see guys like Takeshka. I forgot the other dude from the Golden Jets name. I've only seen him like twice.
Oh, Ibushi, Coda.
Yeah, Ibushi, like those guys, like those are strong style guys. Like they will. Like when they elbow you in your forehead, you feel that. You feel that
Yeah,
whiplash. Like,
you feel
oh.
that impact.
So it's like for Eddie, like he's influenced by it, but he's so delicate with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I do love Eddie Kingston. His character work is great. He deserves everything he has, and obviously the American Dragon is on the Mount Rushmore greatest wrestlers of all time.
That's facts. That's facts. Let's talk about this opening match, which surprised me because if you ask me, we should have started the card off with either the Osprey Takeshita match, and we could talk about that when we get there, or the 8-man scramble star match that they had. But this Christian Cage Daniel Garcia kicks off the show, surprisingly, to be honest. And man, what a good match! I know everybody was saying, "Oh, it should have been Adam Copeland. Why wasn't he there? He lives in Asheville. He's from North Carolina." I like the fact that Adam Copeland took the backseat and allowed Daniel Garcia to go out there, have a great spotlight with Christian Cage, just have a wonderful match. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I felt like us North Carolinians did. We were behind Daniel Garcia that entire match. Like we wanted him to win.
Nah, yeah, you guys were loud as hell. Hands down, loud as hell.
But what are your thoughts on Daddy Christian here?
Obviously, I wish he was my father, but nah, man. Listen, Christian's on a legendary run right now. Daniel Garcia, that man is becoming a star right before our eyes. Super talented, like really good in the ring, and it was a really good match. I feel obviously, if you guys listen to the podcast, you know I don't take it easy on these older wrestlers at all. I feel like once you lost a step, get out the ring, just sit down, it'll hurt yourself. Mm-hmm. But Daniel Garcia and Christian, they had really good chemistry, and it was a really fluid match. It was extremely fluid. I'm glad Adam Copeland wasn't in this match. To be honest, I'm tired of their little rivalry. I'm so glad that it's finishing up next week on Dynamite or 2 weeks in Dynamite, whenever the hell they're in Toronto.
An I Quit match.
To me, that's the corniest thing ever because I can't imagine Adam Copeland saying "I quit," but I can imagine Christian Cage being a little weasel and saying he quits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But it's like I'm so tired of the feud. I'm so tired of it. Not because it's like, oh my god, these guys suck. It's because it's like when Adam Copeland went to AEW, I was excited for first ever matches from him. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I've just seen him chase the ghost of Christian Cage for so long. It's kind of like, come on, bro. You didn't come here for this. I know this is your best friend, and I know this is something that you guys have literally talked about for 40 years.
Yeah.
And listen, I get that. Somebody you've been best friends with for 40 years. You're both in the same industry as performers. Like, you guys want to tell your story the right way. And I love that you guys have the stage to go do it. But honestly, as a viewer, I'm just over it. I don't want to see. Me personally, I don't want to see any more of it. I just want to see Christian do gangster shit, and I want to go see Adam Copeland do first time matches.
I could agree with you. I don't know why they made it an I Quit match, but I 100% agree with you. They're not going to make Adam Copeland say I quit when they just brought him in a few months ago, and Christian's been there. He's established. So yeah, I think they're already going to put this title on Adam Copeland, and he's going to have these first time matches defending this title, and it's going to be obvious that he's going to win because you're not just going to let him lose. So I can see where you're coming from. I can definitely see where you're coming from on that. I'm honestly with you. I don't want to see the Christian Adam Copeland thing. I thought it was over. You know, like let's just move on. Over. Yeah, let's just move on. Let's move on to this all-star 8-man scramble. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't watch this match. I stood for the entrances, and that's it.
I know you didn't watch it. I texted you. I was like, I heard you and Martin screaming meat, and he was like, nah, bro, we gonna merch.
yeah. I was like, nah, man. We stood for the entrances, and we had to see the Chris Jericho because we didn't get to see it any of the times we were at Collision. So we had to see the Chris Jericho, and I will say I said it on everywhere I was this week on any of the podcasts. Mouthing Off with Mike, Drop the Mic with Mike Davis. You guys can listen to that on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. But the Chris Jericho doesn't hit the way Cody Rhodes hits. The entrance does it. Like, it's a good entrance. Chris Jericho's entrance is really good because of the song, but it doesn't hit the way like Cody Rhodes' entrances hits.
I didn't hear anybody really singing Judas, to be honest.
Oh no, they were singing it.
And it didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like it was that lit. I don't know, man. I'm over Jericho.
I feel like this match was just way too obvious, man. I think everybody knew Wardlow was gonna win. I think even if it was the meat match, you knew Wardlow was gonna win. and I don't like it. It's he's not
May
beating Samoa
Cor-
Joe at big business, right? Like that's what they announced. Like if
I hope
Samoa
not.
Joe goes over or puts over Wardlow, I'm rioting.
I'm not gonna hold you. TK's gonna have a lot of angry people on his hands. There's no
Oh
way in
yeah,
hell that happens.
there's no way in hell if that happens. If that happens,
No,
it's gonna be crazy. I just couldn't do it. But yeah, this match right here, man. We went to go grab merch. We went to go get food, use the bathroom.
bro, I don't blame you. It had some cool spots. It was a cool match. It was cool, but obviously you're not giving Chris Jericho a title match. I'd hope not. Who was Brian Cage? He's not
Mm-hmm.
getting. Was he in the match?
Yeah, he was in the match. You had Hook.
He
He's
was
not
not.
getting. You
He's
know,
not
Hook's
getting a
not
title
gonna get
shot.
it.
Hook,
He just got murdered by Samoa Joe a few
yeah,
weeks ago.
bro. Hook
Dante
wasn't gonna get a
Martin.
title.
You know,
Yeah,
Lance Archer's not even in AEW enough to even be considered a contender right now.
bro.
Powerhouse
It
Hobbs
was
maybe, but he just doesn't do it for me.
nah. He's a cool dude though.
So
Met in person. Real cool.
and
I wish
Magnus,
I wish you
you
knew
knew
more about
Magnus wasn't gonna
sneakers.
win.
No, hell no,
so
hell no,
so yeah,
bro.
you just knew Wardlow was
It
the
was
guy.
cool. Yeah, it was sucks because I timed that match up so I can go get ready for bed and shit, like go shower and shit, like go get a snack. But
Yeah.
I got caught up doing something, so I got caught watching the match, and I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "This was supposed to be my bathroom break match. How I get stuck watching it?"
Man, let's move on to your guy. Our guy should honestly say international champion Orange Cassidy goes against Roderick Strong. Roddy gets the dub, man. Roddy gets his first gold in AEW. I think it's well deserved. It was a phenomenal match. I mean, Orange Cassidy was in it, so you knew it was going to be a phenomenal match. Roderick Strong's underrated, so these guys just really went in. They went to the house, and Roddy ends up getting the belt. Your
It's
thoughts?
a it's a good title change, man. Obviously, OC's the thing about OC, man, is that this second title reign feels exactly like his first one.
Okay.
So I think there was some championship fatigue on that. There's some listen, when you're a champion and you defend all the time, that's great. You're a workhorse champion. But at some point it gets extremely repetitive. And especially in your second title reign within like what, 2.5 months?
Mm-hmm.
Because he lost it. He wasn't champion for like a month and a half, 2 months. And then he got the chip back again. It is cool because
Yeah.
OC is a great character. He's a great character. He's a great wrestler. Deserves everything he gets in his industry. But honestly, after the first time he lost it, I thought he should have been going for the world title and solidify himself in the main event picture. Because OC is not a young guy; he's in his 40s. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I want us to be able to enjoy OC in his prime, going for the big gold. But hopefully, this frees him up to go be able to do so. Because honestly, in a couple months, that main event team for AEW is gonna get real messy,
Yeah.
real packed.
Yeah. Real packed. I don't know about AEW World Championship, but I could definitely see TNT Championship around OC. I could see him carrying that, making that title like a prestigious title for the company.
I don't. The thing is, it's like he worked the international title to the bone. The only natural choice of progression is the world title.
The world title? I could see that.
But
Yeah, I
for
could see that.
Roderick Strong, man, this is a great look for him. He's the 5th ever international champion, or the 4th ever. Who is it? It's the first guy. I don't know the first guy. No, Pac. It was Pac,
Pac,
Cassidy,
Cassidy, Mox,
Mox,
Cassidy.
Phoenix.
Oh yeah, Ray Phoenix, Cassidy.
Yeah. Then so what is that? The 4th or the 5th?
6.
No.
If
Like
you're gonna count his
individual
reign
person.
twice.
No, I'm only counting it once. Per person, as a
Oh
person.
yeah,
Like how
then
many
fifth, then
individual?
fifth, then fifth. Yes, correct, fifth.
Yeah, bro. So it's a great look for Roddy. It's a great look for the Undisputed Kingdom.
Correct.
But honestly, I'm still over that faction, 1,000%. I want nothing to do with them boys. I want them to all hang it up. This
I thought it would
sucks.
have been, I thought it would have been cool if they won nothing, and then MJF came back, and then like everything was for nothing. You did all this for nothing, but that's
For
not the route they went,
nada,
and it's
man.
okay. They didn't have to listen to me. It's all good, even though I know how to make money. I'm just joking. No, but man, I got 2 questions for you. Orange Cassidy. You said that this reign was kind of like the first one, but my question to you is, what reign was better, his first reign or his second reign with this international championship?
His first reign.
Okay.
His first reign was better because you saw all the injuries and all the wear and tear adding up on Orange Cassidy. And then like you saw fresh tape on new places, fresh bandages, keeping him like he was broken, but keeping it all together and finding new ways to win these matches and defend that championship until John Moxley broke him and took the strap off him. This time, there wasn't really no wear and tear. He held the chip for like 106 something days, like 100,
Yeah.
200 days. And like there wasn't really no wear and tear on Orange Cassidy, except there was the wear and tear from the Undisputed Kingdom from attacking the shit out of him and being old boy up. So that was his wear and tear just from that group individually. So it's like in the first reign he found new ways to win. This reign was just like he was just winning. If that makes sense.
I know that definitely makes sense. My second question to you is for Roderick Strong, what do you want to see from him in this international championship run?
I feel like since he joined Undisputed Kingdom, when he left the wheelchair, he kind of lost all pop for me, to be honest.
Okay.
Being our favorite cuck, that was my favorite thing for him. But honestly, obviously Roddy is very talented in ring. So as long as he gives us solid matches, solid finishes, some good promo work, develop his character a little bit more, that's all I really want from him, to be honest. He's a great wrestler. He's going to put on great matches.
Hey, I totally agree with you. So let's move on to this tag team match. I know you weren't really too fond of because your guys, the Blackpool Combat Club, was going up against FTR, and I mean
the Bluey Combat Club.
Hey, well, this was a good tag team match, man. This is a really good tag team match. The John Moxley entrance live too is pretty cool. It's only cool because everyone knows the song, but other than that, it's pretty decent. Claudio Castagnoli, man, hats off to you, dude. You were probably one of the cleanest in ring wrestlers out there, man, and people take you for granted. Excuse me. FTR. I mean, hey, losing in your home state is a little wild. I understand everybody's take on it because they're from the Carolinas, but hey, it's the BCC. It's John Moxley. You're not gonna have John Moxley lose on a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? He's Roman Reigns for AEW right now, y'all. You just gotta accept it, and that's that. He's gonna win. He's gonna get his wins in, and there's nothing you could do about it. And shout out to FTR for even putting him over, for even allowing that to happen.
It was listen, man. It's a really good match. One thing I noticed TK loves doing to help put people over, even if they don't win the match, is not even tap out. Just fall asleep. Just get put to sleep, and you're the fan, so like you didn't even tap out. Like your body just gave up on you and just went to a nice little nap. But overall, it was a really good match. Listen, my beef with FCR is I think they're incredible wrestlers, but they have the personality of dry paper and drywall. I think they're extremely boring to hear them talk. And for me, like I said, I care about character work. I don't care. Listen, I don't care if you can't cut a promo. As long as your character work is believable and I like it, I'll rock out with you. But they just have personalities like dung beetles. It's terrible. And for the Blackpool Combat Club, I don't know what it is. I just don't like old boys. I still think they should have went over on their league. I want to know where is Willie Yuta? Where is old boy?
I think he's trying to get his title back on Ring of Honor.
Oh, the Pure Championship.
Yeah.
Who has the belt right now? Who has the Pure Championship?
I believe it's still Shibita. He's not getting it back.
Probably not.
Probably not. Oh man, let's move over to this women's match, and everybody thought it was a little dry. Toni Storm, Deonna Purrazzo. The match was decent. The match was okay. It was a little slow at first, super slow at first. I'm not gonna even say a little slow, super slow at first. But still, at the end of the day, man, these two women, they tore the house down for just an incredible match for that women's title. The one thing I did say, Chance, I don't know if you agree with this or not. I just feel like for Toni Storm to lose this title, you have to have for somebody to be across the ring and take it. That gimmick has to be as top notch as the Timeless gimmick. And if it's not as top notch, then her matches just aren't as good as they're supposed to be. And I think Deonna's a great in-ring performer, but I don't think her gimmick is top notch to where Timeless Toni Storm is right now.
It's hard, right? Because this was one of the first matches announced on the Revolution card, right? Aside from the Sting match, and this match had a lot of build-up, and even the build-up kind of like sucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't really there. The build-up sucked. The match was okay. I felt like we was waiting for this match to happen for so long, kind of just like lost a little of his luster.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about the timeless gimmick that it seems to be fading a little bit for people, just a little bit. You know what I
Just a
mean?
little
At
bit.
first, when she first did it, it was incredible, amazing. But like you said, you have a really good point. The person opposite of her has to have an incredible gimmick to be able to make her presentation work. I think Deanna did a great job because they're obviously really good friends
Mm-hmm.
outside of kayfabe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like obviously Deanna was like, listen, if you don't know me, we're not close friends. Why we got this who's matching tattoo that you have on your ankle?
Right.
Like I think that was a cool spot because you reflect like we on a watching AEW on a week to week basis, we were able to see when Tony snapped and she was broken. Then she just
Mm-hmm.
developed into this character.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how she got the butler, but he just popped up. And then Mariah May just, she loves Tony Storm, like we all do. So you do have a point. Like the opposing gimmick needs to be as fire. But honestly, that timeless gimmick is slipping just a little bit.
It's getting there. It's getting there. Did you pop when Mariah May came out as 80s style Tony Storm?
It was cool. I'm not gonna hold you. I kind of felt bamboozled just a little bit, but I was like, she's a little too small to be Tony.
I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. When it happened live, the entire stadium was like, "Oh snap! She came out as 80s. She came out as 80s." My brother was like hugging some random fan to his left, just like, "Yeah, let's go, Tony Storm." And I'm looking. I'm like, nah, she's a little too small. I was like, "That looks like Mariah." I was like, "That's Mariah May."
Just
I
a
was
little
like, "That's
too
Mariah
small.
May." But yeah, nah, she did. I mean, I'm talking about like weight size. You know what I mean? She didn't look as jacked as Tony Storm, is. So,
She
but
is
overall, I thought the
cocky.
match was okay. And like I said, I think if it is Mercedes Monet, I don't know. We'll find out in a week. My
It
question to you though is, do you think Deanna Prazo is going to get like Tony Khan does all these things when he brings up these women, gives them a title match, and then they lose, and then they take the backseat, and we forget about them. Do you think that's going to happen with Deanna?
I don't think so because I feel like for Riho specifically, I feel like I don't know if this is true, but I feel like she lives in Japan and she travels over here when she has a program going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it kind of limits her to what she's able to do on a program to program basis.
Yeah.
So I feel like somebody like Deanna Purrazzo, I don't feel like she'll take an immediate backseat to do absolutely nothing because I feel like she'll
Okay.
be there on a week to week basis. So I don't feel like she'll be in any like storylines. I feel like she'll just be out here having like good matches on a week to week basis. Kind of like what they did to Sky Blue. Sky Blue wasn't in like any real storylines. She was just performing
Yeah, just having
every single
matches.
every single week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, AEW doesn't do a lot of stories. They do a lot of stories for like fans who've been watching these wrestlers for like 5-10 years and follow them back to New Japan. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you see somebody come back and you see somebody fight somebody like, oh yeah, that's from that beef in 2018 when they faced off that one time in that match.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they don't really. I don't feel like they do like current, like brand new storylines really well. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do it well. Like Christian, MJF, Adam Cole, Swerve, all great storylines from scratch. But I feel like that's not their strong suit. I feel like their strong suit is just really good matches and it's like great performances. Honestly, and that's not a bad thing. So I don't think she'll take a back seat. Just I think she'll be on weekly, just having matches.
Okay. Okay. Nice. I totally agree with you. I don't think she's going to take the backseat either. I think we'll still see her a lot. And hopefully she'll climb the ranks again for either the AEW's Women's World Championship or that TBS Women's World Championship. So we don't know. We'll find out. Let's talk about this this match that everyone is saying is candidate for match of the year. I thought it was match of the night. Match of the year is I can't say that yet because we're so early into the year. You know what I mean? Is it up there? Of course, obviously. It's Will Ospreay. It's Konosuke Takeshita. I think when the match was announced, everybody knew this match was just going to be phenomenal. I think this match was announced and more people bought the pay-per-view just to watch this. No disrespect to Sting. Whoever wanted to watch Sting retired definitely watched Sting retired. But I think there was opposite wrestling fans that saw this right here and was like, okay, I got to buy this pay-per-view. I got to see this match. I will say, live, man. I don't know how this match looked on television, and I hope it was incredible. I haven't rewatched it yet, but live, this match was awesome. I mean, from start to finish, an awesome, awesome match. What are your thoughts? My personal belief, I think, this is obviously the future of AEW. This is going to be the. I don't even know what to say because I'm still processing it because I was there live. But I feel like these guys went all out and there was no title involved. And just imagine, like in the future, when there is a title involved. But what is your thoughts on this match?
It's one. Honestly, Will's amazing. Takeshka's amazing. It honestly sucks that one of them had to lose, and obviously it wasn't going to be Will in any capacity. They're both amazing wrestlers, man. A couple months ago, I was saying this. I kind of hated TK for wasting Takeshka after he beat Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
because Takeshka can obviously go. He's a super amazing wrestler, super talented. Can go with anybody, like really good, man. And he just felt like he wasn't doing anything at all. And these guys, they tore the house down. They were great. It was a great match. Will Ospreay in AEW is gonna do big things. Takeshka will be a future world champion of that company, with or without Don Callis.
Agreed.
The future is bright for AEW. Honestly, man, they have so many great wrestlers at the top of that state roster. Honestly, I I said this on Twitter earlier or X. That is, this AEW roster might be the greatest roster of all time from the men's side and the women's side because they're so stacked. They have about like 6 or 7 of the top 10 wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm accounting for Ilja, Gunther. Obviously, I always got to show love to Seth. Seth is one of those guys.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So they have all these great wrestlers in the top 10. It's unfair, man. It's honestly unfair.
I definitely agree. My question is, you see the people, like you see the IWC complaining like they always do, and then you have other people who's not complaining. Yeah, you see they are terrible. You're a fan watcher of AEW, and you're obviously a fan watcher of the WWE. Do you, as a fan, do you like the no selling? Do you think it shouldn't be a part of wrestling, or do you kind of believe like how some other people say, like if you ever been in a fight and you have all that adrenaline, you're not worried about pain at the moment, you're just going.
That's the one thing I was about to say. Listen, I understand sometimes the no selling because you have adrenaline coming in, and you're like, yeah, let's go. Like me personally, I love when somebody hits a finisher and you kick out at 1 after a crazy match, because that's just a crazy spot. Like for example, when Samoa Joe murdered Hook and Hook still kicked out at 1, that was absolutely insane to me. That made me pop. I swear to God, that made me pop. But for the big moves, no selling, it's still a little weird to me because they can do a chain of like 5, 6 moves back to back to each other, no sell every single move, and at the end of it, you see the fatigue kick in, and they're like catching their breath, and that's fine. But me personally, coming from watching only WWE, that's something that's taken me a little while to
get used
to. Yes, it's a little weird to me. I'm not gonna lie to you, like because you have all these because you had that big exchange between Takeshka and Will when Takeshka hit it with the German. Will got up. I think he hit him with like a super kick and then a clothesline. But it was a whole crazy exchange, and not one of them sold anything in that sequence until the end of that sequence, and they was just laying on the ground. So it's a little getting used to, man. Obviously, for those who watch New Japan, I feel like you're more used to it because they do those kind of things more over there. Obviously, in the WWE, they will sell your big moves like they really hurt,
right?
Unless it's Seth Rollins and it's a move to your back, because let's face it, back was never hurt, big dog. Then we use no selling shits. But if you're used to it, you're used to it. If you're not, like me, it's probably a little weird at first, but it's great matches, man. So just enjoy it.
Facts. Definitely agree. Co-main event, triple threat match, AW World Championship. Swerve Strickland, our guy, whose house? His house. Hangman Adam Page. Samoa Joe, the world champion.
Joe.
This triple threat match, man. Honestly, it was good, but coming from that Konosuke Takeshita match and Will Ospreay, it was just like you were trying to still process what you just watched, and then these three guys are out there. Obviously, we're all paying attention. We're all watching this match. I was telling everybody while I was there, man, tonight's the night. Pull the trigger on Swerve. It's going to happen. We're making history. We're all going to be a part of history. We are going to do the damn thing. The same guy that my brother was hugging about Mariah May coming out as 80s Tony Storm looks at me and says, I didn't get his name, but shouts out to him, man. He says, nah, it can't happen. It can't happen tonight. We can't do that for Swerve tonight. You can't take away from him and undermine him with Sting's retirement. He's like, if he's going to win it, he's going to win it. He's going to be the main event. And he's going to win it there when he's the main event, not the co-main event. It can't happen. And I'm just
That's fair.
man. I'm like, man, I get it, but fuck that. I don't care about that. I want to see it today. Right.
I want to see it tonight.
I want to see it tonight. I want this to happen tonight. The match was good, man. And like I said, you saw Swerve almost get it. And in my personal belief, Hangman tapped out on purpose to cost Swerve the title. That is my personal belief. I think he did it because remember what he said. I'm going to make sure you don't leave champion. I think he just tapped out so Swerve wouldn't win. And
listen, I believe.
Go ahead.
I agree with you 1,000%. Hangman is a hater. He should have looked Swerve dead in his eyes and tapped out, looking at him smiling, just to further that belief. That would have been crazy, but TK does a great job on weekdays. Now I'm used to it. He puts his super banger matches at the beginning of the card.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I still hate that because sometimes I forget wrestling's on Wednesdays. I'm still not programmed to it, so I'll be like 8:15. I'll be like, oh my god, turn it on. It's a 3 count. I missed the whole entire match, and it was a great match. But I feel like that. I agree with you. That Takeshita Will Ospreay match probably should have opened the show.
Mm-hmm.
They were probably trying to show Will a little bit of love. Like, listen, this is here now. This is always going to be a spot towards the top of the card.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, AEW has showed me and taught me that you don't need to be at the top of the card to have a great match. You can have a great match on anywhere in the card. Yep. So I feel like they did put those 3 matches together. It's a lot. It is a lot to process, and I do agree with that guy that Martin was hugging. Because obviously, I would have not wanted to hear that on Sunday either. I would have been the same thing. Swerve, crown Swerve tonight.
That's
you know
what
I mean? Crown him tonight. But listen, it does make sense. This was Sting's night, 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, if Swerve would have won the chip, I think everybody would have lost their voice, and people would have been. It would have been like nails scratching out like glass chalkboard for this thing. Because we'd have had no voice left. You know what I mean? Especially you guys. You guys were loud as hell the whole entire pay-per-view.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. While we were there, when you're there in the midst of the moment, at first it didn't sound like we were loud. Like there was times we were in the stadium and I was just like, damn, I don't think we're loud enough. And then I watched some clips and some highlights. And I'm just like, damn, we were that loud. Like it was phenomenal. Great pay-per-view to attend.
Don't get me wrong. You're not Puerto Rico loud, but you guys were loud.
No, yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah. We were louder than the Royal Rumble.
Someone say Puerto Rico.
Oh! Look
my
who's
man
here!
My man wants to jump in for the Puerto Rico comment.
Yeah, that's the craziest part.
We 38 minutes into this recap. My man said, "Yeah, what's up? I'm here." Oh man, well, Brady, you're here, man. Your thoughts on this triple threat AEW World Championship match?
Man, that triple threat was incredible. I can't even lie. Like, this is good storytelling. This is a good match.
Yo, Brandon, what were you doing?
I mean, I ain't want to answer that on the pod, but
fair enough. That's fair enough. Okay. I have a question. Were you guys upset that Samoa Joe, still retained though? I feel like there was a few people who were upset that he retained.
Oh, I'm not mad at it. I feel like it was obviously if you're not going to crown Swerve because it's Sting's night, obviously you're not going to crown Hangman. You know what I mean? That's just crazy.
I mean, I do agree that like the crowd wouldn't go as crazy. They wouldn't be jumping out the bleachers for Hangman.
Right.
So it would, and Hangman's won before, so it wouldn't be Hangman's night even if that happened. but I
True.
still don't want to see the belt on Hangman. So
Yeah, bro, Hangman is. It's
I don't
mad
think
funny.
anybody
Everybody
wants
makes
to
a
see the
joke.
belt. Go
Everybody
ahead.
on the internet, the IWC, they make the joke that Logan Paul stole his moveset from Hangman. And it's funny because it's true, but Logan Paul just looks so much better doing it.
No, no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Before we move on to this main event, our co-host here, Brandy, just joined up, literally in this last minute of this recap. Brandy, I just want to hear your thoughts real quick on the Will Ospreay Takeshita match.
yo, that match was a banger. Like my eyes were glued to the screen the whole match, and I even got my brother to watch. And
Oh yeah,
he was, those are his two favorite AEW stars. So they got Jacob's seal of approval.
Hey, that's all.
Yeah,
That's
we
all
gotta-
Tony Khan needs. When you get Jacob's
Yo.
stamp of approval, that's all Tony Khan needs.
That's all you need,
Imagine TK to start sexing Jacob on the side personally. What do you think about this? He's just an inside guy now.
Hey, I want to put Will
best
Ospreay
friends.
against Christian Cage. You think that'll work?
Oh man, could you imagine?
Well, Jacob's just like, it's not Konosuka.
Let's talk about this main event right here. The reason why this, not even the reason why this pay per view happened. It was going to happen regardless. But the whole reason for the pay per view itself. Sting, Darby Allin, World Tag Team Championships, defending it against Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. I don't even think those are their real names, but we're gonna go with the EVPs of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Man, oh man. The first question, we're just gonna dissect this a little bit. First question was this a perfect way to send Sting out?
1,000%.
There's no better way to do it.
There was no listen. Darby said he was gonna die for this man, and he damn near did.
I feel like that's a fact, and like it's just like it's probably the greatest retirement story of all time at this point. Like I don't think there's been one better.
Really, you don't think there's any, no send off better than what Tony
just
Khan
like,
did for Sting?
Like I love like the Ric Flair one, obviously, but Ric Flair didn't stay away, so.
Okay.
I have a feeling like Sting's gonna stay away, and it was just more like the way it was booked, where like even Ric Flair's old age, he's still booked as an old man. Sting is booked as Sting, and he went out like Sting, and that was beautiful.
I
love
honestly,
the cutout in the back.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, by the way, the Jackson's actual last name is Macy, but those are all their real real first names.
Okay.
So,
I was wrong.
Oh man, my fault. I just got a little crazy news. For the fans of Dragon Ball, Kira Toriyama has passed away.
Damn.
So, rest in peace to one of the greatest creators of my generation. Grew up watching and loving Dragon Ball. So, this is a little rough. That sucks. But back to the great ones thing. This was a great showing for Sting, man. It showed everything that made Sting great. Like when the Jacksons did the double super kick to Sting, and Sting ate that, and he just like growled at them a little bit. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's the perfect no sell Sting. I'm like, you're 64 years old. Show them EVPs who the real dude around here. And it was a great match. And obviously, Darby, you're not gonna listen to nobody, Darby. You're gonna do exactly what the hell you want to go do.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a higher ladder, I'm sure you would have jumped off that as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Go
Marcus,
ahead.
how did that look live? Honestly, how did that look live?
Dude, honestly, it was
wild.
It was.
Did you think he died?
For a
glass
while,
get in your eyes.
No glass in my eyes. But for a while, when he first did it, you're like, as you're like, oh, that was crazy. And then he's laying there. Sting's literally now carrying this entire match by himself. It's a handicap match. You're trying to like process the match, but also you're trying to process that Darby Allin is okay at the same time, right? The medics come. The medics are trying to check on him. There was one medic's face, dude. I mean, probably scared the entire stadium because it was like as soon as he got to Darby, he was like,
Bro,
just like trying to put pressure,
Son
trying to cover
sold the
him.
injury.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Son sold the injury.
He was generally scared.
No,
I
think he was
Generally
definitely generally scared. And for a while, you're just like, oh damn, you're hoping everything's okay. While that's happening, at the same time, Sting's going through a table, and then Sting's getting put through glass. So you're just like, are you guys not seeing the man who's almost dying on the floor right now?
He may be dead right now, guys.
I said it on Mouthing Off with Mike. Like I said, everybody, you can listen to that episode on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Darby Allin is the wrestler that Darby Allin is one of the reasons why I love professional wrestling. The fact that he was willing to go there and do his job at 150% and sacrifice his body like that so that crowd and people like me can have a moment that we will remember for the rest of our lives, let alone watching it live or on TV, is a salute to him by all means. And I thought that doing that move was wild and it was crazy. And at the same time, if it wasn't safe, I don't think Tony was going to let him do it anyway. So yeah, shouts out to Darby Allin, man, because, dude, you're the toughest, skinniest dude as a wrestler. I mean, but the toughest nails. Literally tough. I told my brother, he is literally that episode of SpongeBob when the dude comes out the club and he's just like, oh, I had a bowl of nails this morning without any milk. That is Darby Allin. 100%. 100%, so, like, honestly, thank you, Darby Allin, for just being who you are. Don't go climb Mount Everest, because that was like, come on, dude. I think he 30 stitches or something like that, and now he's got to fight Jay White. It's crazy. But crazy spot.
It's one of those spots that, like, you see and it's like, Jesus, Darby, you clearly don't give a fuck about yourself, and obviously Tony Khan offers you a great medical package. Because there's no and they were talking about it too. They're like, they went over the spot like early in the day to make sure the spot was doable. Darby was adamant about doing the spot. I was like, yeah, man, Darby in the 90s for the E, or when they were the F, when the Hardy Boys in the tag team, he
ECW.
I was about to say, dude, if Paul Heyman had a Darby Allin, bro, he wouldn't have sold the WWE. He'd be straight.
Darby Allin would be straight.
He wouldn't, but he had like 10 Darby Allins, bro. Sabu and all them dudes were insane. And Darby would have fit in exactly with them. A whole bunch of misfits just going through glass, thumbtacks.
But Darby probably would have survived a little bit more just because he's a little bit more straight edge than those guys were.
A little bit.
Oh yeah, bro. Honestly, it's in order to be that insane and do the things you do, you have to do it sober.
Or do you?
Or do you?
You can ask Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy is the way he is because he was doing those spots messed up. That's why he is the way he is right now, man.
But speaking of Everest, I've been seeing a running joke on Twitter is like, are we sure we want to let Darby on the highest point in the world and just he's gonna jump off? He's gonna be on top of Mount Everest and just
all I'm
jump.
saying is if he climbs Mount Everest and comes back, Tony Khan put the title on that man. I don't need story. I don't need no story. Just let him come in, beat Samoa Joe, put the title on that man because he deserves it. And the side plates just put Mount Everest. Don't even put Darby Allin.
Listen,
but no, man.
We can't take away from Sting though. Because Sting had an incredible show, and this was an incredible way to end your career. Everybody said I was a madman when I said Sting was going to retain his titles against the Bucks and it was going to be a tournament.
Oh yeah, I said the same thing. This is literally. I was like, no, this Tony Khan loves calling. Right, and Tony Khan loves announcing a tournament.
Yeah, that's true.
You wasn't about to take that away from Sting and Tony Khan.
You know what's mad funny? Sting wanted to give the match to the Bucks.
Oh yeah, no, I heard that. But the Bucks weren't trying to do that only because they were trying to let him have the perfect record while he was at AEW, and I respect that.
Bro,
that's beautiful.
Bro, and you know what's crazy? Those are two guys that grew up watching Sting, love Sting, and respect the shit out of Sting. Because if you got someone like Sting who wanted to give up their undefeated streak to you to end their career, and you say, no, we're not doing that. You're going out undefeated. We're going to put you over like the legend you deserve. That speaks a lot. Listen, I don't like them in the current gimmick. I think they're not heels. I think they're assholes. I think those are two separate things. Like, you know what I mean? Like Drew McIntyre is an asshole, but he's a funny asshole. The EVPs are just assholes.
They're funny.
Nah, they're funny. They're funny.
Well, the craziest thing I heard was when they told they're gonna find Eddie Kingston. That was the funniest shit ever. And then after that, I was like, let me get serious. I still don't like it. I still don't like it.
See, I hated them up until not hated. Hated's a strong word, but I wasn't a real big fan of the Bucks up until this thing match, and and then they rocked their 11s together. It was cool, and then on Wednesday they rocked the purple foams. Oh, they're cool. Like they grew on they grew on me a lot. I'm not gonna lie, this week, even with their silly gimmick, it's just funny.
No, you know what sold me on not liking them, bro? They wrestled in suit vest.
That's what sold me. We accepted the turtleneck. We can accept the suit vest.
Suit vest with no
sleeveless turtleneck at that. Sorry,
sleeveless turtleneck.
Bro, do you understand how crazy it is to wear a suit and your wrestling outfit is just your suit pants and your suit vest with nothing underneath it, bro?
It makes sense when you're an EVP.
And a pair of Jordans.
Like, I'm an EVP. This is me. But like when you're Christian, what is the point of the turtleneck? Like there's nothing explaining that. At least this is explained.
It's class. It's class.
It's class.
What do you mean? The sleeveless turtleneck is the ultimate class.
That's the ultimate class. The Patriot.
Well, you know why? Because he wears a leather jacket or a jacket, so you don't even know his turtleneck doesn't have sleeves. He just looks mad.
He pulls it off. It's just mad gangster.
You're like, he doesn't have sleeveless turtleneck. What's going on over here?
Now, can you imagine, like, you're about to fight somebody, and they're wearing a blazer with a turtleneck, and then they take off the blazer, and they're sleeveless? Like, I'm not fighting that guy.
No, yeah, I'm not fighting that guy.
Could you imagine
I'm never going to that bar ever again.
Could you imagine going to a wedding? The groomsman takes off his suit jacket, and it's just a vest, no shirt underneath. The tie was painted on.
Oh man. Quick question for the both of you guys. Did you, in your honest opinion, did you pop when you saw Ric Flair or Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
No.
Ricky, yes. Ricky,
yes. But get Ric Flair off my TV. He wants to die on television. I'm tired of this.
He was on television so bad. He was so purple.
Yo, bro, between him and Mick Foley, I don't know, bro. I don't get it. I genuinely do not understand these guys wanting to die in that squared circle. Like, I'm pretty sure TK had Flair sign a waiver. Like, if you die in the ring, we are not held liable. Your daughter cannot sue us. Neither can Andrade. Like, bro, I don't know what's good with this man. He almost died in that ring that night, and they barely hit him.
Nah, they what you mean? They hit him with a double super kick.
But that's crazy. And you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Ric Flair's like, yeah, I want to do a little more in the ring work. Like, I don't mind taking bumps. Like, Rick, my guy, buddy, please don't.
Go eat your greasy wings.
Bro, you want to take a spot? Do what Darby did. I want to see you. I want to see you 25 feet in the air off a ladder, jump through glass.
Please no.
Oh man, I hear that. A lot of people were complaining about the 29-0. Did you guys have a problem with that?
The 29-0.
They don't like odd numbers.
Well, just that Sting was undefeated his entire career while at AEW.
What's wrong with that? He's Superman.
Yeah. Bro, TK's a mark. Why would he let Sting lose?
Sting walked around like Superman for an hour. He earned that.
Bro, you know what I mean? Like, bro, TK's a big-ass mark. Like, he's a big-ass wrestling fan. He loves Sting. You telling me if you have your own promotion and you love Sting, you're gonna let Sting lose? No.
Let him go 0-29. Just win a single match.
Bro,
we already know if
I had my own
promotion. Go ahead.
Bro, if I had my own promotion, I swear to God, bro, Dom Mysterio would be 50-0. He'd be the collector of all the championships. Wild. Bro, Dom would be 50-0. He'd have all the straps. Dom would look super strong in every single match, bro. I swear to God, it'd be insane. Just real quick, a ranch in the back.
Real quick, because I know you're both WWE fans. I just really want to ask you this question because I was thinking about it a little bit. This thing that you saw on Sunday compared to this thing that you watched wrestled Seth Rollins, how big of a difference was that? Was that, when you watch that Seth Rollins match, you're like, oh, this dude right now, Sting needs to hang it up. 9 years later, we're watching this match and we're just like, dude, Sting was killing it. I mean, had one of the greatest matches. Do you think that's because he had the Young Bucks and Seth Rollins just wasn't a good dance partner, or do you think that Sting match with Seth Rollins just wasn't the right time?
I think it's a few different things. I think the WWE took the love out of it for Sting, and there was
Okay.
no passion there for him. And I think with this run that we've seen, there was just nothing but passion, nothing but the love. And it was reciprocated to him, not just like him feeling it. You know what I mean? So it went both ways. With the WWE, it was like, yeah, we're excited to see Sting, but the WWE wasn't that excited to have him.
I agree with you half. Like I don't think the EU fans weren't excited to have him. I think what Vince has a bad habit of doing is if you're a legend, it's your time to put people over. So you're gonna put over Seth Rollins. And Sting put a lot of people over in his run over there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sting only had one win, and that was that tag match with Cena.
Yep.
So Sting was probably uninspired. You know what I mean? Sting was already in his 50s. Sting didn't have to go wrestle in his 50s. Sting probably signed out of the love of the game, have a couple dream matches, and it ended up really badly for him. You know what I mean? So I'm really glad TK gave him this opportunity to finish it how he wanted to finish it. Mostly all tag team matches with Darby, the trios matches, and there's nothing wrong with that. Darby took most of the bumps, crazy spots, and Sting cleaned up. So he was able to be fresher for most of those matches, and it's never a bad thing, man. But this is probably the ideal way of Sting going out. Honestly, I think if the WWE offered Sting $10 million for one last match, I genuinely believe Sting would turn that down.
I think he would too.
Mm-hmm. I think he would too.
There's no reason to redo your last match. You did your last match on your terms. You know what I mean?
They're not topping this.
Yeah,
There's
you're not topping
nothing you can do to top it. Nothing you can do, bro.
Do you think this match hurt the Young Bucks?
No.
Not at all. I think it would have hurt if they won.
Yes, I do think it would have hurt if they would have won. I will say this. I'm not a big fan of the Bucks in a general sense, but they are great in-ring talents, and their current gimmick right now, they can eat losses and it wouldn't really matter because they're the
Exactly.
EVPs.
Mm-hmm.
Their character gimmick right now transcends losses.
It does.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Definitely
Like they can lose in the first round of the tournament and put themselves in the finals because they're the EVPs.
Because the EVPs.
And they can win the finals match.
You just gave Tony Khan an idea right there.
This is right now.
And it could be hilarious. You know what I mean?
He's about to ask Jacob if that was a good idea.
You know how gas Jacob would be? Tony Khan hit him up on the side if ideas are good.
You would be sick, Chano. You would be sick.
No, bro. I would never hear the end of it, bro.
No, we already know Chances don't like Jacob's booking, so.
No, I know that's what I'm saying.
I don't like,
he'd be on here every week. AEW
I'm not watching that.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, bro.
I know Jacob had a hand in this part.
Bro, I'm not gonna hold you. Jacob's takes are top 5 worst takes I've ever heard in my life. Bro. I swear to God,
that's crazy.
That's a wild take. Now that's a wild take.
No, bro, that's so bad.
What do you guys want to see for Darby? Like, what's next for him?
Surviving Mount Everest.
No, that, and I want him to take it easy. I want him to take 6 months off. Find himself, find God, any God, and just not try to kill himself in the ring. That's another one, bro. Like, live, please.
Okay.
You can have a safe death match.
What about Sting?
I would like to see him come back as a manager.
I agree.
You know, I like to see him come back as manager. Honestly, he can manage Darby in a singles run. If Darby ever wants to go for serious gold,
I would like to see him come back as a general manager.
Nah, they don't really. I'm not gonna hold you. AEW doesn't really strike me as a program to work with a GM because TK is very much there every week. Like you hear Tony, and he be like, "Yeah, TK just told me in my ear, this match is now official, guys. It's happening. You see the graphic? It's happening right now. You know what I mean? Like they don't need a GM.
Tony Schiavone's a goat.
He's the goat. He's great.
I love how they shit on Tony Schiavone every single episode, bro. It's great. Oh my god! They're like, shut the fuck up, Tony.
I will say. I know you guys saw the clips of him cutting the promo after the cameras cut off and everything. Personally, while I was there and watching that locker room come out, I'm not gonna say the whole locker room because obviously it wasn't the whole locker room. That locker room come out. You see the rumors that everyone says, "Oh, people are unhappy and morale is bad over there." Dude, I don't think I saw a single frown on anybody's face. I think everybody was happy. Will looked super ecstatic to be there. just everyone looked at. Adam Copeland was backstage. He didn't come out. Oh well, but he was happy. Everyone just looked happy. I don't those rumors that people are upset or angry with Tony Khan or anything. I don't think those are true. After watching what I watched.
To be honest, it could be true. We don't know. But at the same time, that moment when you come out, it's not about you at that moment. You know what I mean? Like I said this the other day. Sting has wrestled longer than a lot of us have been alive. Especially a lot of those guys in the locker room. A lot of those guys and girls, when they fell in love with wrestling, they started with Sting. You know what I mean? They grew up watching the icon, the legend, Sting. So even if they were upset, they're not happy about the situation, it's hard not to bask in that moment and see one of your all-time favorites retire in a great match, by the way, on his own terms. It doesn't get any more emotional than that. I think that's one of the moments where wrestling is bigger than you. So even if they are unhappy for any reason, you're not going to show it that moment. And honestly, I don't think any of those guys really are unhappy. Because obviously we joke on AEW a lot, but TK seems like he runs a nice ship, man. I don't know how he gets the budget to pay for all these wrestlers, but he's doing it. So everybody happy.
He watched too many episodes of Ozark. That's what it was. He figured it out.
He figured it out.
That's crazy. We gonna see in 10 years the Jacksonville Jaguars are paying these salaries.
your overall thought on the pay-per-view though?
It was solid. It was a good pay-per-view. I felt like some things were lacking for me. I feel like some things were lacking. The Will Takeshita match, obviously my favorite. I saw highlights of the triple threat match because they started watching wrestling at like 5:30 or 6:30 in the afternoon. That's too much wrestling for me, bro. At some point I gotta decompress and not watch. This is too much.
I feel that. Before we get out of here, I got one question for you specifically. You see, people were complaining about the Elimination Chamber 4 matches too little, Revolution 9 matches too much. What is the appropriate amount of matches for a wrestling card?
For a pay-per-view that's 4 hours, I would like to say I feel like six is a nice sweet spot.
Okay. What about you, Brandy? Go ahead. Well, you can finish your part.
6-7. It's a nice little sweet spot. You know what I mean? Like Elimination Chamber, it sucked because they had that big 45-minute gap of nothing really going on except like previews and highlights.
Yeah.
Which obviously it sucks. They should have added another match. There's no excuse for that at all. TK on pay-per-views, there's no promos. It's straight banger after bang. Like, bro, the moment the bell rang, they showed the clip of how we got here, and entrance music is rolling. Like, they played no games. But I feel like 9 was a little bit too much, especially for matches that didn't really matter on that card. Like, the meat match didn't need to happen. No disrespect to Christian Cage and Daniel Garcia, that didn't need to happen on a pay-per-view. That could have happened on a Dynamite or a Collision. Everything else kind of felt needed. Will is your guy, so he needs to be on the pay-per-view card. Tony Storm, Superstar, pay-per-view. Swerve, Joe, Superstars, Sting's last match, pay-per-view. I feel like I'm forgetting a match. Eddie, Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, pay-per-view worthy. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like you used to cut those 2 matches. You wouldn't have missed anything, if that makes sense. No, but
you gotta have a break somewhere.
And even the pre-show, the 8-man tag, bro, that was for that's Tony. Bro, I think there had to be at least 15 matches overall from the pre-card and the main show. Like 12, 15?
Yeah, I think so. The initial question, Brandy, was Elimination Chamber was 4 matches. Everybody was saying that was too little, and Revolution was 9 matches. Everybody was saying that was way too much. What do you think is the perfect amount of matches for a wrestling card? I would say it's probably one of their top 5 pay-per-views or top 3. Okay. Yeah.
How you forget about the tribal chief? That's crazy.
It's literally your profile picture.
Literally.
Okay.
It's one of those things because I really feel like WWE has to make it up for us at WrestleMania. Both nights they have to, because there's no way in hell you give us
Talking
two
12 matches
back-to-back
each
short
card.
cards. That's crazy.
12 matches. 24 matches in 2 days. 24 matches in 2 days. Yeah, 12 matches for both days.
No, that's not
12 matches night 1, 12 matches night 2.
Don't listen to
WrestleMania.
don't listen to Marcus.
Okay, up it. 10. Give me 10 and 10.
10 and 10.
All right, 99.
That's crazy.
Nah,
Bro, I didn't even think they got enough WrestleMania. I don't feel like there's enough.
WrestleMania needs to be like a festival. It needs to be like a week. I mean, 20 matches a day.
They might give them like 10 years. It's gonna be a 3-day extravaganza.
It needs to be like
2 days.
Yeah, no, it needs to be like a camping. It needs to be like a camping festival. I need to be able to go there, set up camp. You know what I mean? Sleep wrestling, wake up wrestling.
That's great. That's
pull up in the RV, chilling.
The slogans would be like 2 nights.
Fellas,
we're going to
I'm gonna
3.
be honest with you. The only thing I didn't like about this pay-per-view, and because I'm being picky and I've been saying it everywhere I've been going, but dude, and y'all went to AEW shows, so what's up with the merch, Tony Khan? Why is there not enough merch, and why were we selling out? That was the craziest thing. Like, come on. I understand, like, every merch table Sunday was all Sting merch, and it was the same Sting merch, and you couldn't get any because, I'm not gonna lie to you, large to 2X was sold out by the time we got into the venue, because they did this little VIP thing. So everybody bought the VIP thing. They sold the VIP thing out, and they got it in an hour earlier. I guess they were all large to 2X, because by the time me and my brother got in, they were like, yeah, we got a small and mediums. So I got the cutout. That's not right. So I was like, no, yeah, this is super dope. But I was just like, man, I was like, do you have any other shirts? The guy was like, nah. I was like, okay. Mm-hmm.
Sold out.
Yeah.
So gone, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how this man's selling out of merch so fast.
Bro, the only shirt they had. Bro, and the only shirt they had on the stands was the Scissor Me NYC.
Okay.
No, he didn't get it. He wishes he got it. He regrets not buying it.
Yeah. I was just trying to get the there was a triple threat match shirt. It had Swerve, Samoa Joe, and Adam Page on it. I was just trying to get that sold out. Then I was trying to get the Revolution shirt with Sting on it that said I was there, sold out. I was just like, dang, okay. Try to get Sting's pink shirt, sold out. They had this one other the only shirt that they had was this ugly Sting shirt that you couldn't see because it was black on black. Yeah. It's like, who thought of this idea? So no, yeah. I mean, I bought the shirts online. I bought the Sting shirts with the 3 different Stings on the moon, because I really wanted to. Oh yeah, I wanted to see the double face paint. I was like, yeah, I want to cop that. Didn't cop it. So I'm actually really happy with my cutout though. I think this thing's really dope. So hopefully I get to see Sting at like a WrestleCade or something. He could sign it. That'd be dope.
Oh, but hey, like for a table,
fellas, say again.
It's like for a table.
Yeah, Sting's at WrestleCade and he's doing a table or something. I'll take that for him to sign. That'd be dope.
That's not bad. That's fine. As long as he's not wrestling.
He could wrestle. I don't know. He could wrestle, bro. I'll be yeah. I mean, We okay with that. Ringsiders, this recap ended up being a little longer than what me and Chano wanted because Brandy blessed us with his presence.
38 minutes in.
37 minutes in.
Yo, me and Marcus was breezing, and then Brandon comes in. He's like, "Hi guys." Brandon was just listening to the episode in silence, just not saying anything until Puerto Rico was mentioned. He was like, "This is my
Puerto Rico.
This is my bat signal. They need me."
Ringsiders, yes, take a listen to the recap. We will have another episode out, just speaking of the week of wrestling, sometime this weekend as well. Also, Monday we should have an interview out with Alex Raymond. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. You probably know him as Aaron Bradley from ECPW, DPW, D2W. I'm sorry. And some other places. And then we have another interview that we are booking, which we can't wait to announce. So stay tuned. Interviews are coming. The live trivia show is coming. But as of right now, my guys have to get their plugs in. And we will catch you guys soon. Fellas, yours.
Yo, not even my plugs at this point. I gotta plug these Hollywood ass guys over here. We have been pimping Martin out to anybody who asks. So you can check out Martin from Wrestling in the Middle podcast. He did their Revolution recap. And then also he went on with Mouthing Off a Mic with Marcus. So you can check that out with Mouthing Off a Mic on Instagram and Twitter. Marcus, he was on the radio show with Drop the Mic. With the other mic?
Tobacco Road Sports Radio with
yes, sir.
Drop the Mic, Mike Davis.
Yes, sir. My guys, they are busy bees.
Hey, man,
they are busy bees.
Trying to work and like you said, Chano, in that tweet, man, really prove to the world that this IWC is not as toxic as it is, and that this new generation of wrestling podcasters are about to come and take over.
1,000%. It's gonna become one super podcast, and nobody's gonna get their point across.
100 people talking at a time.
It took us 20 episodes to find out how to coexist. Yo, but you can find us at 4 Sides of the Ring on X. That's 4SIDESOTR on X, or how it was professional name, Twitter. That's the name. Follow us. Know what I mean? We be posting every couple hours. So sometimes we need a break because the internet wrestling community is toxic. Toxic as hell.
That's facts. That's facts. What about you, Brandy?
You already know. It's Life and Times, LYFE. That's on Instagram and Twitter. X, whatever you want to call it.
That's big facts. You could follow me, Original Buddha _ Original Buddha, either on X or Instagram. But Marcus Hernandez is who I am. I'm with Chano. I'm with Brandy. Shouts out to Mike Davis for having me on the Tobacco Road Sports Radio. Like Chano said, I really appreciate you having me on. And then shouts out to Mouthing Off the Mic for having me and Martin on. Shouts out to Wrestling in the Middle for having Martin on. We've been doing a lot of big things, and we appreciate everybody. I think we also have a couple special guests coming on for some regular shows as well. So, guys, Ringsiders, stay tuned because your boys are about to get to work. It's the road to WrestleMania, and we are going to be at WrestleMania, so come see us. Chano and Brandy are going live. And you know what? If you go up to them and give them $10,000, they might give you their tickets.
I'll give you the tickets 1,000%.
Yeah, I'm definitely selling the tickets.
Bro, don't even come up to me. You can DM me with $10,000. I will give you my ticket. If I don't gotta make that drive to Philly, I won't.
Oh man!
Listen, I will tell you what.
Go ahead.
I will say this: at WrestleMania, if you can find Brandy Savage, he will buy you merch.
Well, I will give you a sticker.
No, he's gonna buy you merch.
Our merch.
Oh man, Ringsiders, stay tuned to this weekend. We're gonna have some more stuff out, man. We'll catch you guys later or sooner. Who knows? Have a great weekend.